Hello, it's from Wessex Blades. Got a real fast favour basically to do a friend of mine at work. Lawnmower blade's got a bit of a problem. Okay, and something wrong with the edge. I can't work it out yet. I don't know what's wrong with it, to be honest. Yeah, hit a bit of metal in the garden. So I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to get all that dried grass off, and then clean it up, straighten it out, check for stresses, and then sharpen the edges up again. Hey, welcome back. So what I've done is I've cleaned it up in the sink outside by an outside tap, and all I've used is a nail brush and water. I haven't used any chemicals whatsoever, and there it is, cleaned up with all that grass stain. And I'm going to have and what I've done is I've had a look at the basically the stretch section of the blade where it's bent. So that would be in compression, that would be an extension, so that's where it's been bent up. And I was looking for stress looking sort of effects, and to be honest there's no real fault in it other than it's been bent, so I'm quite happy to make an attempt at straightening it. What I thought I'd try on is basically hitting it cold on the railroad with a lump hammer. So rather than put it in a vise and catching specific areas in the jaws, I'll gradually, over the rounded section of my anvil, I'll gradually try and straighten it out. So I'll just move it down. Hopefully you'll see what I'm doing. I think that's about where the railroad is, and I'm going to use, rather than that sharp face one, and use a lump hammer because it's got a nice rounded face and should be gentle on it. So if you can imagine, if that was on there, you should be able to see that. It's nothing like as much force trying to straighten it as if I was doing that, because it's already almost, you know, you can see that should gradually straighten it out as opposed to me going on there and doing it in one massive go. So, and I can just gradually, and then a turn up there, so that's pretty good. And same to the other side. So again, that'll be a bit too much of a stress for it, so I'm going to go to about there, slowly but surely ease it back into something vaguely straight. Now the fact that this is like a very stainless sort of looking piece of metal, I don't think it's been galvanised, but the grass hasn't affected it at all, so it's not had any oxidation on it. In the old days when these were not as stain resistant, I've heard horror stories of these things breaking due to faults in them, and then blasting a chunk of the blade out through the plastic shroud on these hover mowers. So I'm quite prepared to give it a go, knowing that there's no rust on it. And that's a massive little dink there, look at that. So I have to straighten there. That one's higher, so I'm going to get it down that way a bit. That goes up. That goes up. Now with me, does it spin quite happily? So I'm going to put it on my finger like that. Few little kinks. I'll iron them out and get back to you if I think I've done a good job or not. I've gone back onto the railroad. I've got it straight, and what I've got now, I've got the same lift angle on whatever the wings are on this thing on both sides, so it actually looks symmetrical, like a helicopter blade. So to me it feels like it's going to be balanced. It's got the same sort of tweak to it on both sides. I put it in there like that, and to me it looks like it spins quite balanced. So what I'm going to do now is I've got to address the edge, which is that nasty chewed up section there. So I'm not going to make, I don't know, too long a job on it, because I don't know what the temper on this thing's like. I'll just gently get those two cutting edges tidier. So over to the grinder. Into my little workshop area, and we're going to go onto the grinder. Now if we just pan over to here, kiddo, the section I'm trying to be using is off the idler wheel, the driven wheels over there. You can tell by the belt pulley system we got over here. Okay, so that's driven, he's idling, so that's me tracking area there that adjusts the tracking of the belt. As it comes off that roller, before it gets to the bed, here there's a little slack section, and I can get the blade bit I'm after, which is that bit. I can get that in there, find the angle I want, and just run it in there backwards and forwards, and it will stop there where I want it to stop. I want it to stop there. If I was on the bed, which is the metal bit, I'd be constantly trying to fight the edge of the belt, fighting against the edge of the work, and you'd never get where you want it to stop. It just wouldn't work out. But there I can, because there's no metal in the way, and that little knock out of theirs. So I'm using that little section there, if you're wondering why I'm doing it. Alright, so I'll turn it on. It's a bit back to front. So that way. have a rough check for now. So if you come in, Mitch, can you see that quite shiny area there? Isn't that nice? No. Right. Hoik the camera up like this. There we go. So there's a newer edge on that. I'll play with it a bit more. There's one edge. There's a second edge. Still got a few chunks to take out of it, but I kept cooling it in the water every time it got too hot. Okay, so basically I did about 30 seconds or so and then cooled it down in the water again, because I don't want to affect the temper. I don't know what this steel is, I'm not used to it. It's a stainless something, it could even be galvanized, but I don't think it is. So it's some form of chromium alloy, like steel I guess. So I don't know it, so make sure it's cool. And see you in a bit, hopefully. I'll do a nice job. See you in a bit. Oh, excuse me, there's Berserker there. Small, compact neck knife from Wessex Blades. As you know, spring steel's rubbish tool still, isn't it? Do 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 do. There you go. Good stuff.
What did you say in the last video? Does the job.
Does a job. Yeah, that's nearly 2 years ago, that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was a Survivor blade, wasn't it? Anyway, that's my Berserker. It's nearly finished. The camera is sort of like 15 degrees off the horizontal there, kiddo.
It was because the...
It's alright, it's alright. I'll move your leg down. How's that?
That's better.
Nearly there. Right. Back to the movement hand and the things I'm supposed to be doing rather than playing with my knife. There's that. I'm not going to go too far because one side's more heavily dinged, but I guess that will cut grass a lot better than what it would have done if it was looking like a albatross there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to give it 16 strokes one direction on here, and again the fact that this is square means I can get into that little corner quite happily. What's that like? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then the same the other end, which yeah, should be the same way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. No, I don't think lawnmowers are supposed to be sharp by any stretch of the imagination. I don't want it to be too sharp, but to me, it needs to cut grass, which is God knows what, 30% cellulose. So at least it shouldn't have too hard a job. Feels like it's got an edge. So there's a repaired Flymo blade. Now if I looked at that and I saw the slightest stress fracture on it, I just go straight back to the lady in question and say sorry, but he's a goner. But I'm sure that that'll take another bang yet and not break. There's no sort of weakness in it. It's just scuff marks. So I'm quite happy letting that go. There we go. Quick repair job from Wessex Blades. Flymo blade. Yeah, he's alright. All the best. See you in my next video.